Are we live?
What about all that? Do you think anybody's going to join?
Not aware of anyone.
Not particularly likely. I can't
Okay.
see the town flocking to this particular meeting.
Anyway, welcome to the 7th of September's Communicating Strategy Group. Don't all rush at once. And the apologies that haven't rushed for the once.
Councillor John Harvey and Councillor Margaret Gately.
And we are happy to accept those
Yeah.
apologies and excuses.
Yeah.
Declarations for interest? No. No, all eyes down. Meeting notes. June the 8th. Which I have read. Now, excuse me for my ignorance. Oh, shall I go through those ones?
These are the ones that
Rather-
I'm signing.
Okay. When it said action and agreed, do we go through it now and see whether you did action it?
We don't tend to the subcommittees, so
Okay. So we're just good on everybody's word and it's all
do
laid
track
back.
it in the office. And
Okay.
this committee is always up to date on its actions.
So nothing on the 8th? No,
No, fine.
and nothing on the 20th.
Happy to sign off on both.
I'll do that now.
Yes, please.
Keep it in. Oh. 9th,
7th of September.
7th of the 9th.
Yeah. That one is an issue. So.
What is it? Not wrong there then. It wasn't on that one.
That one doesn't need it because it's in.
No, it doesn't have that.
They're different.
Um,
Thank you very much.
I'll pass that test. Future newsletter, Appendix A. Well, I get lost with all the page numbers and counts, so bear with, bear with. Winter event picture. Done.
Have we chosen that? Sorry.
No, that was my thought. I was
Okay.
just looking to see where I was going to be given a.
Okay.
No, we just suggested that a winter event picture would be nice. There is a nice one from last year from the Christmas lights.
Yeah, the Christmas lights would be the best, I think,
Yeah.
because it stretches to January.
When does this come out?
The end of November. I think. Yeah, it would be ready for the Christmas lights ritual event.
Oh, that would be superb then. wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
Christmas lights with a big tree in front of the old jail would be perfect again.
They're getting smaller actually, but
Oh, are they?
right, Anya.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what message, I'm not going to compose it on the hop here, but I will let.
No, it's just one of
Louise
those.
Bethany have one of those as per usual.
You're
There's
forever
always
writing little paragraphs, aren't you? And
Yeah, that's fine.
you all right with that?
Yeah,
Past events. Well, will the dog show go ahead this weekend as it's going to be the hottest Saturday on record?
It's for Sunday.
it's on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on Sunday. Sorry.
I mean,
They're going to
it
make
will
the
also
decision
be
at
very
2
hot.
PM today. So I would suggest a very strong chance that it will be held because the weather forecast hasn't changed.
Shane.
So the dog show can't go on, but all activities involving children carry on outside in the fields.
Oh, right. So the event's going on, just not the.
Oh, well, dogs are far more vulnerable
Yeah,
than children,
yes.
at least according to their owners usually.
I believe RSPCA has given advice that you don't have dogs out in the middle of the day.
No.
Yeah, no, but children are perfectly okay.
Reverence 1 and 2 Charterfield.
There's 2 river events.
Oh, River Rinse 1 and 2, not 1 and 2 Charter Fairs.
There's a comma after 2.
To be fair, there should be Charter Fair 1 and 2 really as well. But
Yeah. There will be, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take River Inns and Charter Fair as read.
Halloween events, that's the one at Lace Hill, isn't it?
Yes.
Bonfire and fireworks, Remembrance Parade, that takes us up. Ooh, Remembrance Parade. So this comes out just after the 11th. Yeah, but when does it go to print? Oh, it doesn't matter because we can put it in.
Already, by the time they get it, it
Yeah.
will already happen.
Yeah, so as long as we write
It says
it
right,
after
using
date.
pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're using pictures from last year anyway.
or from previous years.
Yeah.
Are there anything else that we can think of?
I think that covers all the main events for winter.
Yeah, that would be all between those 2 periods for past events. Except the Swan Trail, which we put a separate article in at the bottom.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
The suggested.
yeah, because that's, need to highlight that, it's been a terrific thing. Enjoyed those around, although some, I think the one by the centre, obviously it's looking worse for wear now, I think some bits have dropped off,
Some of them weathered.
not bad, not very well.
Worse than others. It's been really unfortunate that the weather was so awful, because some of them struggled a bit with the weather.
Also hot
Yeah.
can also do it. Anyway,
I think they all look great.
yeah, they did, yeah.
Yeah, they look really
They
good.
weren't built to last, so
Yeah, but they've served their purpose.
They did.
Everyone's enjoyed looking at them, taking pictures with them. So it's been a great success.
I just thought you may auction them off though, that was.
There will be an auction, so there's going to be essentially a patch-up period to get them back ready.
You get a £5 off, Martin, if you want a bit.
It's up to people how much they want to bid.
Sorry, Annie, you were going to say anything
No.
of interest?
I wasn't.
Winter Fair, that's the one that's after the parade.
No, that's at Lace Hill as well.
Oh, that's at Lace Hill.
Yeah, that's a shopping.
So what's the difference between current and future? Because they will all be
Because
future.
Because when it starts, some people will, on the first round of deliveries, they will already receive it.
Oh, I see. You just
By the-
distinguish that small grey area.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And also, I guess we need to put in the times and dates and times for Christmas lights and
For
so
the
on.
current stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
but we don't actually need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all your little icons that you do and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that good. Pancake break, oh yes, yeah, food fair. Right, well, there we go. Your views count and list of we don't need to update anything on those, do we?
No.
An events diary till April. So that covers the next one a bit, does it? Overlaps. What the town council achieved?
There's summaries for each committee.
And this is because it's the first one after the,
Because we didn't do the summer one.
yeah. And this is the first time we've changed it, isn't it? Then we did do a summer one last year, so.
Yeah.
We did talk about though, if we have the same pattern of editions next year, then we might bring that article forward and have it at the end of the spring edition, if that's not too early. So
Be a bit early.
discussion about whether we can do that one.
Right, have we fired off something to the committee chairman then?
Not yet, it does it after, we do it after this meeting.
So what are we removing from this if we're adding in things like this that we would have had in the summer one? Have we increased the number of pages or anything? No,
No, so the winter edition in particular doesn't have any sort of required articles that have to go in it. So we shuffled things around to move some of the required articles from the summer into this edition. And that seems to have worked reasonably well
Good answer.
in terms of balancing.
All right. And annual town meeting. About next year's event.
Yes, we've had to bring that one forward because of the dates for the spring edition next year. We're
Is
going
it
to
worth
be-
putting it in? Is anybody gonna like clock it? You know, here we are in November. Oh, it's,
No, I think
it's
it-
even the next year.
People might still notice it, and then when the information comes out on social media and on the website, etc., then people still, oh yes, I remember seeing
What-
something about that.
Will it be in the kind of calendar of events for the future? So I guess if anyone keeps that page or something like that.
Well, hopefully they keep all of them up there lined up so they can reference back.
I keep all the copies in the library personally.
But what are we going, have we got to really think about the format of the annual town meeting for next year?
This is why it would normally be a one-page article, but I've suggested we just do a half page so that it's advanced warning. This is the day it's coming out.
With a picture from last year, and then that's half page filled.
Have we got the theme for next year's?
No, because none of that will be decided until later, closer to the time. I mean, we
Okay.
could look at pushing it to the spring edition. When does the spring edition get taken?
The reason I was pondering on that is I was wondering about the development plan. So that's sort of
The name.
going at pace, isn't it? But there's nothing in this one to sort of,
It's at the very end of the winter articles suggested, so.
And is there something in the one
Yeah.
that's just gone out?
Yeah, there's a page that's got, one's just gone out. But we have to be a little bit vague in that because the council
Yeah.
hasn't agreed the dates
Yeah.
yet.
And by the time that one comes out, the consultation period will be over or not?
Yes,
Okay,
that's when this one comes out, yeah.
yeah, so therefore you don't need a massive, very big one here.
The print date for next spring is the 7th of March.
Yeah, so we typically have the annual town meeting towards the end of March.
That's very tight.
Yeah, so we wouldn't, in terms of delivery for the newsletter, some people might get it until after the meeting's happened. Which is why it's had to go in this one. But that is a change to previous years because we've pushed that print deadline for the spring edition back a bit
Yeah.
later.
it gives us longer gaps, doesn't it, that we have to,
It balances better in some ways, but obviously it does then.
you can't please everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Right, winter article suggested. Who suggested it?
These are the suggestions from the office. Obviously suggestions from welcome.
Of your team meetings?
Can I just ask, when will the skate park be done by?
We were told it would take about 3 months and they started at the very end of July. Didn't they?
Yeah,
So I think maybe October.
yeah.
October or
Be
November.
just as this comes out then. Bit of,
What is the, what's the date this goes to print?
beginning of November.
Oh, I thought it was the end of November.
It's delivered end of November.
Delivered end of November.
You need to give the printers a week to get it printed or
Yeah.
10 days.
So that will fit in perfectly
Yeah,
then.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you will be able by then have a reasonably good idea whether it's shaping up to actually open.
May be able to get a picture,
Yeah, of the very nearly
even
renovated
if it's
thing,
got
yeah.
a few
Well,
Yeah.
It
areas.
goes
Yeah.
to print on the 30th of October.
30th of
okay.
October, right. So if it wasn't finished by then, we could think about delaying that until the
Yeah.
next edition.
so what would we put in its place?
Depending, what we normally do, if there's something that we have to pull, is that we'll take something from the reserve list or we'll expand another article that we've already agreed.
Okay,
Well, it's almost there. I mean, you could just give it some top spin, couldn't you? And just say, hey, it's gonna, you know, these are the attractions, this is this and this is that. So that when it does finish, people have got the information, all right, let's go and do it.
Yeah, in all likelihood, you'll be able to write, to have an article on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should think you just keep it in.
Yeah.
and by the
Even
time
today.
this is delivered, it should
Exactly.
be done and
Yeah.
open.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I should think so. So keep that in. Winter safety tips, well, that's fairly
We normally do that.
regular, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nobody's come up with any changes to that, have they?
I mean, certainly last year we sort of took some bits from previous.
Well, with
last
climate
year.
changes, you may want to go out and buy some longer Wellington boots or something, or
Get yourself
crampons.
an inflatable.
A canoe, yes, a canoe or something.
A canoe to get to the skate park.
Yeah.
Because by December.
It'd be a water ski park
Yeah.
then. We don't have any audience, so we're fine.
It's been recorded though.
Too bad. No, we'll be all right.
Well, they can't blame, climate change on me and Anya.
No,
So,
no.
No.
Lee's given us an update on the bridge repairs.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. That is good.
oh, the Christmas card contest. Has that gone out already? No, not yet.
No, I'll stop doing it in September.
Okay, so we'll have the winners by this time? No.
It will be, so the winners will already have been chosen and they will probably still be invited to switch on the Christmas lights.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
we wrote it in a
The cards,
vague way last time.
yeah, the cards will be for sale at the tick at that time, so we generally advertise that.
So we'll have the winners inside this edition.
Their name, yes, so we did it last time, whereas their names were included.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense then.
We do so much in the town that it's just the office is buzzing with ideas. And half a page on the Swan Trail.
That seems about all right, because we have talked about it. Certainly you have
At
talked
length.
about it on social media at great length, yeah. Which is great because people have enjoyed it so much and people have posted all sorts of things about
Yeah.
it. So, yeah, it's been well publicised, but it'd be nice to have a little recap to say how wonderful it all was, yeah.
And also, it's one of those things that if you do need to fill some extra space, you can always turn it into a page because there's so many photos and stuff around.
True. People might get a bit like sort of, does the town ever do anything other than talk about the Swan Trail?
But it will be cold and miserable by then, so.
Yeah, people
we'll
might-
just
Nice bright
reminisce
swan.
and cover.
People will enjoy a picture of the Swan Trail, that is true.
Yes, you can get one floating on a water river going down the town and one. One with snow around it. Lace Hill. Have they revamped themselves? They're looking for business. I thought they were fully booked and busy.
No, we do sort of periodically advertise these things. If you felt it wasn't needed, we could leave it off the list.
No. Happy. I just thought they were like fully booked.
But if it's advertising their services and timetable, surely it's to inform people of what's going on.
Yeah. In terms of this list that I've given, the total space available is 6.25 pages and there is 7.25 pages suggested here. So you're welcome to leave
Right.
a page out from this suggested list.
Or make them half pages.
Or make them
Or
two
mix.
half pages, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're just advertising what town council does for services out of Lace Hill. That's basically it. We're not advertising other people's activities that are happening there.
There would probably be an element of advertising regular classes, but not in detail.
Yeah, so if you need to, you could possibly fit that on half a page.
If you needed to.
Could you?
Yeah, I think that one could go down to, well, we haven't got many others at the whole page, so we've just got that, the mowing the flowers. That could probably go down to. Well, and the bridge. Renovate a skate park.
Yeah,
I think the skate park ought to keep the page.
yeah, but if needed, bridge repairs and the,
Well, I don't want to take the slab of carpet from the Lee, you could get,
That is a major expense as well.
it is.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big
right,
expense.
Yeah.
It's what's one of those things though, that nobody really notices until it's not there or it's broken or.
Yeah.
Get diverted.
But I think quite a lot, because of the school as well, quite a lot of people go through Horsham Park.
Oh, yeah,
so-
yeah, yeah. I'm not saying it shouldn't
Yeah.
be there. I wasn't gonna take it out. I was just saying if need be, you could probably fit it on half a page.
Yeah,
We haven't,
Good.
I was gonna say, we haven't talked about these ones yet, but cemetery consultation could maybe go down to half a page, because that, again, that'll just be an update on the outcome of that.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
because it has been mentioned before, hasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, this is almost the wrap up bit, isn't it?
yeah, and it's not a place where you can easily put a big picture in it anyway, at least not of the new one, because I can tell you that pictures of empty fields do not make good copies.
Or tractors mowing them at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we leave cemetery consultation down to half a page and Lace Hill down.
I think that could easily go down half a page even without thinking about it. And surely mowing of preserved flowers, that's been a hot topic, hasn't it, on, I don't do the socials, but I believe it has been.
It
A
has,
couple of people have asked me, which is unusual.
but at the same time, we've been singled out for praise as being particularly good in our practices.
Yeah, and it's a lot of really good pictures that you have, but you also want to think about, you know, how does the thing look? And you want to give them, you know, if you have something that lends itself to really good pictures, then you want to give it a bit more space, whereas other things do not lend themselves to
Yeah.
to pictures. Or not as easily anyway.
Yes,
You can always find
the
some.
lace hill could be very blocked in print and bullet points, I suppose, without any pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure that our officers are very good at making the design choices.
Well, they are, that's why we
Maybe.
sit here relaxed, because we're not rumbling
We
around.
probably don't need to tell them about it, but yeah, ideas are no doubt always welcome.
Okay, so all of those are half pages if necessary then, or less, lace, flowers and sem. Right. Oh, that proves it double-sided. Is there anything else we need to add in or anything? No, no comments, no.
nothing that I can.
You're all good on that. Audio newsletter. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Who did we have last time?
So we didn't actually agree one last time, so I got Patrick as the new town crier to do it. Because
Oh,
it's a
okay.
male and all of the new, newer councillors and
Yeah,
interested. So he's actually just recorded that for me on Monday.
Right.
So it's really just agreeing.
so we're going right back to the beginning again, starting again.
But it has to be a woman this time. Yes, ideally we try and sort of alternate, so yeah, it's female, females.
Is that a smaller pick of people?
Actually, about even.
Yes.
Has Anya done one?
I have done
Yes.
it, but as the new mayor, if you want me to, I'm not pushing myself forward, but I can do it.
Like to nominate Tanya?
If not, if there was anyone notable recently that we thought, you know, changing.
Well, why don't we, one person who we could ask, because I've done it before, and we also have new mace bearers, so how about we ask Ruth?
We could, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so if we're looking at new, you know, new people who do the ceremonial stuff, and we've had the town crier, which is obvious, I hope we didn't sort of boom. down.
No.
I've no doubt he didn't. But that might be an idea.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
That is a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
We could
So
ask
we'll
Terry.
put you as first reserve then,
Yeah, yeah,
and Ruth as
yeah.
candidate.
And then you can ask Terry for the one afterwards.
Yes.
Good idea.
Sorted for.
Well on the way.
Yeah.
Sorted for this year.
Oh dear, look what we've got to now then. Item 6. Ongoing development of the existing website.
Would you mind resending me your list and I'll have a look at it? Because I'm going to be very honest, Martin, and say.
No, I haven't got time at the moment. Right. It's all right, it's fine. Is there anything that you need to discuss maintenance? I think it's going well. I mean, I enjoy using it now. It's easy to get to things. There's lots of shortcuts. It's colourful, it seems to work quickly.
Yeah.
So Bethany's just
You
done
know.
a little exploration of the user experience in terms of flooding information, and we're going to change that around so that it's easier to find the flooding section.
Okay.
But that's the main thing that we're working on at the moment. It is still relatively new to the staff, so there was something you might remember from
Some TV
TV.
problems where there's no links or,
Yes, you still get that occasional
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah,
And
we could do that.
I have no doubt that you'll sort them out, and then
Yeah.
by the time you've been doing this for another half year, it'll all be
I think so,
Yes.
yeah.
perfect.
But we've used various bits of it recently that we hadn't had a chance to use before. So we've sold tickets through it, and we know how all that works and how to get the information out now.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Great.
Yeah, and there was talk about confidential forms or something, or feedback forms.
Yes, and that's on there, and that's
Yeah, so, you know,
yeah. It's actually a lot easier to use.
once you know how to use it.
Once you know how to use it. So like, there's just, we're still at the stage where occasionally you'll hit across something and go, oh, I don't actually know how to do that. Then we go and work that out.
Little book of crib sheets. Oh, yes, that's how you do it. Yes. So we're all good on that?
Yeah.
I'm good on that. Potential redesign. Oh, of the newsletter, sorry. Almost read website there.
Don't do that to me again. Yeah, so this was following on from the informal meeting we had. Councillors wanted to talk about whether or not, when the current contract for the newsletter ends, which is the end of this financial year, so March is the last edition on the current contract, and whether we want to change the design. So we've got, those are a couple of old editions that show
Yeah.
what they used to look like. We've got a new one there, and then we've also copied out
Oh, there's a new
couple
one. The new one is the white, isn't it?
Yeah,
Rather
the
than
white,
gold.
the
Yeah.
new,
Yeah, that's definitely preferable.
Yeah.
yeah. And then we have a few from different towns and villages that show what theirs look like. And John made a suggestion that he emailed around about what he thought might be a
Well, that
design.
one.
This one.
Yeah, that was John's suggestion, something like that.
Oh, and A4. This is
No, same size.
No,
or
same size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I just think if it's not broke, then I'm sure you have other things to do as well, rather than redesigning.
To be honest, I think it looks fine.
Yeah. Because the sort of people who might read it properly are the sort of people who might like the way things are and for them to be kept that
Yeah.
way.
And yeah, I mean, it could look like this, but then I don't see any particular reason
Yeah.
why that's better than this, except for changing it round.
Well, it's not like that, of course, anymore, is it? Is it?
No, this is a new one.
That's the new one, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that
Yes,
anymore.
which
Yeah.
is almost going back to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually think the white is cleaner.
yeah.
I like the white
And you
better.
see straight away that it's Buckingham Town Matters.
And there's always a different picture on it, so
Yeah.
great big spread at the beginning, so it's not like sort of, but I'm sure I just had this. And when they all look the same, they can, the format can look the same. And I think the point where you're saying like people are used to it, and so they don't, confuse it with all those commercial what's it in the same format.
Yeah.
So does that have a QR code on it?
It doesn't. We have talked about doing that in the past.
So why do some of the old ones have a QR code? 2013.
I don't know, that was a different graphic designer who did those ones.
So if we had a QR code which directly links it either to the web page or something, yeah,
The audio.
yeah,
You could.
Oh, no, it's just the front page.
Well, to the web page, it
Yeah.
has the link to the audio on it.
yeah,
That's something we could think about doing.
yeah. I mean, that would be my only suggestion because
Yeah.
it would just make it easier for everyone in a household, for example. Some people who don't take time to read these things. If there was a QR code with either a link to where the audio is or just a general link to the new website.
So I think what he's done is to propose this. So this is for a bit of a table of content on the first page. I can see why he is suggesting that now, but it also means that this one becomes practically illegible.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. it's
Yeah.
the problem.
So I think
Yeah.
from a, I can see what he is trying to do with the content,
Yeah,
but from a design perspective, I don't think.
so like, you know, for example, my dad would read this,
Yeah.
but because he's visually impaired, he wouldn't be able to read that at all.
Yeah.
Whereas just by the slight, you know, recognition of that border and those colours, he would know what it is.
And I think we were getting that trouble with that colour as well, because the contrast wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And that is precisely.
So,
I think we. Sounds
Yeah,
like
I
we-
just think this looks, you know, crisp and clean,
Yeah.
and you know what it is straight away. And then you've got things down here which are also black and white
Yeah.
and a lovely picture.
absolutely.
Yeah. No, I think it works. That
So-
is also too busy. It chops up the picture. No good.
So personally, I would keep
Lovely.
this format.
I think we're decided, aren't we?
I'm happy with that, yes. I mean, there's obviously always going to be tweaks. It's a living document.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the main thrust
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah,
The main layout.
because that also links
fine.
in to other things we do, doesn't it? So we would have to then think about changing their formats.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't it the Fringe or something? And they,
yeah, so I think,
well, that was it.
yeah, I think there is a, whether we want to think about, you know, starting fresh and having a new design for everything, but it sounds like the group consensus is that we don't really want to do that.
Well, you know, we're all busy at the moment. Why make yourselves busier by trying to learn and redo other things?
Yeah.
I don't,
Nobody's
yeah.
coming back to us say, could you do this because I can't read it, or can you change this, or, you know, whatever. Everybody seems to be happy at the moment.
and you know, straight away, spring issue 2023, you know, it's really easy to see which one it is. If you need information for a certain event or whatever, you know straight away, and it's, you know, got the calendar on the back as well. I just don't think it needs
No.
chopping and changing for the sake of it.
No.
Just bathe in the glory that it works
Yeah.
for a few more years, you know, like,
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Do you guys have too much spare time in the office?
Yeah, exactly. Are you bored? Would you like to redesign?
I would love to be bored.
Somehow I didn't. Somehow I don't think the answer was going to be yes.
So consider this our Christmas present to you in the office. No more work than that.
You might get some biscuits as well, but.
Turn the handle and churn it out again.
Lovely, all right, I'm happy with that then.
Jolly D. Press releases. Appendix B. Da, da, da.
So just for clarification, 418 mowing to preserve wildflowers, that was not published because.
So it was. This is quite interesting, actually. So we have had a lovely contact at the local paper who we sent one of our press releases to directly. And around the time that press release went out, she stopped working for the local paper. And the local paper is now being run, as far as I can tell, by one person who covers about 4 counties. So there are an awful lot of newspapers being produced en masse. And that means that since then, when we get the next list of press releases, it's been considerably harder to get anything published in the paper because they've also changed the submission approach. So you can't just email a press release and just go through the website.
Yeah.
I think that's
So
just
who was the person
reflective.
who's left?
Hannah.
Oh, Hannah's left, okay.
Oh, she's left. Okay. So who's taken over?
I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I can find out.
Yeah, it's not urgent thing, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll
And
get
I
to grips with
already had
that.
the impression that Hannah was covering the entirety of Buckinghamshire already anyway.
Yeah, they've been extremely short-staffed for a while.
Yeah.
And this is just another step towards there being less and less
Implosion.
people working.
Yeah.
We'll adjust to how the way it works, and we'll have a teething period and then we'll get back to getting things
Yeah.
published. But it also, when you have someone else running the paper, you know, they might have a different style about the kind of articles that they want to publish.
Yeah,
whereas,
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I've got a gripe about the first one. It's a fringe week, it's not pantomime.
But Buckingham County did take part.
Well, yeah, it's one aspect of it.
They were great, actually. They were really
Oh,
lovely.
don't tell them that.
In the pouring rain. They said they'd come back next year.
Did they? Right, chair's items then. See you again next meeting. Which will be on the 12th of October, as stated in item 10.
Via
By
Zoom,
Zoom,
Okay.
yes. So no parking requirements.
brilliant.
Have we decided to make them all via Zoom or
No,
just this?
some of us like to get out.
So we alternate, we do 4 in person and 4.
Okay, yeah, get it.
And we also thought about changing the date, the day as well, and the time, didn't we? But that
I mean, Thursday works. for me.
please some of the people, some of the time. But
Yeah.
might as well just keep it as